With a variety of sizes and a consistently high level of quality throughout the lineup, Mazda's been named the best SUV brand by U.S. News and World Report. We invite you to experience the Mazda difference at Baton Rouge's Mazda dealer, Team Mazda on Airline, a member of the Team Automotive Group.
Organs. Are you asking that?
I go from 0 to 100 in 5 seconds.
You do?
Yeah.
I think your organs are fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he spent a day in the sun yesterday, and Steve, you talk about this all the time, right? Like, you think you get acclimated to the heat down here, but then you do a day of yard work?
Monday, yard work and working out of the gym, and then and I thought I did well with the hydration, but I didn't. And Monday night got chills and nausea, and in bed all day Tuesday after we got off the air yesterday. Feel great today.
See, that's the my oldest daughter. Spent a summer gig as she's back from college and spent all day outdoors, like in the sun, working that kind of thing. And that later that night, I mean, she looked tired, you know, but always kind of, you know.
And this one over there does a great job of reminding us.
Do this.
That's a real thing.
It really, what we talk about all the time.
That's a real thing.
And I think it's new this summer, but the Department of Health has actually put up a heat dashboard with tracking the heat illnesses.
There you go.
And I forget the I think we're at like 9 or 10 fatalities statewide. A lot of people don't realize heat is the #1 weather-related killer. If we had 9 or 10 people killed by a hurricane, we'd be talking all about it, right? So don't, we hear from people, oh, another heat advisor, guess what, it's summer. No, stuff like what happens to Johnny, what happened to your daughter, can happen to any of us.
Well, is this more this year? Are you guys hearing?
Well, look, so June was the hottest on record. First half of July, second hottest on record for Baton Rouge. So, yeah, it's been rough.
Stacks up.
But here's the good news. We're about to get some relief.
All right, Steve.
Just make sure you mow before that relief shows
up.
Today's your last day.
Right? Yeah, get ready for that. Check out our Sky 9 view up on False River this morning. Beautiful shot as we get our eyes on some showers and storms kind of southwest of False River this morning. That view brought to you by Our Lady of the Lake. So here's some of that activity that we're seeing in that Sky 9 view that's rolling out over the basin right now. One little shower along I-10 near Gross Tate this morning, but a few storms out over the basin at this hour. We had one shower came across the eastern parts of the city. That one fizzling out as it crosses near George O'Neill and O'Neill. Another little shower bubbling up along the Amite River right now. That one moving eastward, but mainly dry around Metro Baton Rouge. We'll keep an eye on those storms over the basin. There's been quite a bit of rain, though, along the coast so far this morning. The graph model here, none of the models doing great. It's doing a little better than the HRRR's been doing, though, so far this morning. So as we advance this, it does show the potential of a few more showers bubbling up through mid-morning. So I do have morning rain chances a little higher today than what we've seen lately. Let's say a 20 to a 30% chance. And then the graph does show additional showers and storms developing south of I-10 lunchtime, a few more inland, but watch the afternoon. It goes pretty active with the showers and storms. We'll go with afternoon rain chances today, 50 to 60%, and then most of that activity winds down into the evening. Muggy outside again. Baton Rouge, New Orleans, 81. Gonzales starting out at 78 degrees. Now, if we stay dry into the low 90s by or before lunchtime, highs low to mid 90s today. And again, your afternoon rain chances running 50 to maybe even 60%. Rain chances on the way up. That is the headline. 70 to 80% beginning tomorrow through the weekend and probably right on through next week. So that's what we're talking about. That's going to start to give us some relief from the heat. Now the trade-off is as the days go by, we're going to be keeping an eye on rain totals. Latest outlook from the Weather Prediction Center showing 3 to 5 inches of rain on average for many of us through next Wednesday morning. This is the European. This takes us through next Friday morning, but it's got 3 to 5 inches of rain. GFS also showing 3 to 5. So good agreement right now in a rainy pattern getting underway, and that we'll probably see several inches of rainfall the next 7 to 10 days. So that is going to be the trade-off. We get some relief in the heat. Look at the highs down into the upper 80s Friday. We could see a run of days in the upper 80s below normal on temperatures, but the rain chances elevated, and with that, we'll be keeping an eye on rain amounts to see if that starts to add up as we get into next week. 7:07 now with the check on the roads. Here's Johnny.
Kind of widen our shot out a little bit. Traffic flow is fine. Borrow Steve's radar and kind of overlay some of the weather that might be in and around the area. Well, no, it's not going to do it. Here we go. Right across to the west and to the south of here. So really nothing in the immediate Baton Rouge area right now. I had some around Highland Road a little earlier in Seagan. Here's a good flow of traffic here at I-10 at Essen. Even the eastbound side of Essen that usually backs up a little bit at this time is doing well this morning all the way into the downtown area from a lot of our camera shots. Slow a little bit at the 110 in both directions, but bridge traffic LA1 in the background not bad this morning at all. And your drive to and from Lafayette, to and from New Orleans, fine. 7:07, we like to visit with you a few minutes every morning on WAFB Plus. If you're just getting up, it's a good way to recap on some of the more important stories we might have covered for you. We'll be right back to do that next.
.09 your time right now on a Wednesday morning. Here we are Wednesday, all right? The big headline continues to be, the conversations continue to be what began on Saturday, the attempted assassination of former President Donald Trump. And you knew immediately there were going to be so many questions about how this got to this point. And still, Liz, right now, more questions than answers.
That's the big question here, right? How did this happen? How did the gunman get so close? How? Well, this morning we're getting a better timeline here from the FBI and the investigators looking into this case. Well, we're told that the suspect there, that's Thomas Crooks, we're told he was able to bring in an actual rangefinder here. This is something that hunters use to find like a shot within the distance here. But someone at the security check, they thought that that was weird. They alerted other folks and said, well, why would this happen? Before you know it, things got advanced from there. Yes, and eventually making his way, climbing up an AC unit on top of that building. Snipers, they were scoping, they say, and they say they actually saw him in the scope looking back at him. How chilling is it to hear that?
Very, very.
So the investigation continues into that. We're going to follow that, of course. The RNC continues for day 3.
That's right.
Yeah,
the J.D. Vance stepping up onto the stage today for day 3 of the Republican National Convention. So that continues. And so does the political calendar, right? We've got qualifying for the November 5th election. The headline is going to be the presidential race, absolutely. But depending on where you are, you're going to have some other big races, some other big offices to fill on that ballot.
8 a.m. today is when the Secretary of State's office will open that qualifying race period. We're keeping our eyes on a number of the big races in our viewing area, but across the state as well, right? We've got the congressional districts that we're keeping our eye on, a local public service commission district seat as well. And when it comes to Baton Rouge, East Baton Rouge, who will be the next mayor-president?
You're right.
We've got our eyes on all of that for you. Qualifying ends Friday, and we'll let you know who ends up entering the race.
Well, not ending, just beginning, apparently. The conversation about a subdivision in Livingston Parish, Deer Run. We've talked about this before. Kind of questionable, a little bit of controversial, that kind of deal. They could be having a conversation about that tonight. A special emergency council meeting today.
Yeah, it's actually going to begin at 6 p.m. tonight at the council chambers there in Government Boulevard. Tonight, they're going to talk about the legal battle that's going back and forth, the proposed settlement, in fact, with Ascension Properties Incorporated and the parish. Now, the council is expected to introduce an ordinance for a development agreement for that subdivision. Then, next Friday, that's July 26th, they're going to have another special meeting where they will then vote on that development agreement. They decide on today.
Special humans, EMTs.
Yes.
Can't have enough of these folks. And since the pandemic, we've had a shortage of just overall healthcare workers, coast to coast, right? Left coast, east coast, third coast. Well, down here along the third coast is a program being set up to try to get more folks into the EMT field.
How about it? Let's take it to North Shore Technical Community College there, where they're offering an advanced EMT program. We actually caught up with a young woman who recently graduated high school entering this program because she knows that she wants to do it.
That's so good.
It's a 20-week non-credit training class for folks 18 and up with a high school diploma, GED, or maybe a high-set certification. If you think maybe this is something for me, this is a great opportunity to go to a local institution here and maybe get fast-tracked to become become a lifesaver in our community.
Find the helpers, and there are those who want to do that.
Please.
And this could be that next ticket. Actually, if you find this story here, WAFB.com, the 9 News app, you'll find a link to register. You got to do that quick because the register link shuts down on Friday. I want to give you a look here. What you are seeing is the school board offices for EBR School District. You know what they don't have right now? A permanent superintendent. Liz, we are less than a week away from the interim superintendent's contract running out. They still do not have a replacement.
And what is the danger here?
Oh.
Well, we caught up with the school board yesterday because a lot of folks still want him, Adam Smith, the interim superintendent, to step into the role of the permanent position. His contract as interim superintendent ends July 23rd, as Matt mentioned here. If there is no superintendent appointed after that contract expires, Governor Jeff Landry can step in and appoint one himself. That's the school board saying we don't want that. Let's make that decision. So tomorrow, we've been talking about this all week here, they could bring in new names potentially to this race, which would kind of reset all of this. A lot to follow. We will be at that meeting.
We've only got like less than 90 seconds. So let's jump ahead. Let's jump all the way ahead to something that's going on a little bit later on tonight involving one of our very own, Johnny Asian, a celebrity waiter event. Come on down. Hey, wait a minute. Where's my food? Are you late? Get over here. What kind of waiter are you?
He's working on preparing it. He's cooking it.
I'm
already
balancing.
perfecting the. Look at you.
Oh, that's not bad.
I'll take an old-fashioned, please.
Done.
Really? You said you were like the best waiter in the world
Best
when you
waiter.
were.
Look, when it comes to food service, I can knock it out the park.
Really?
Do you want
to knock that out the park? You want to get it to the table safely?
I am like other people, other waiters, servers. There's not waiters anymore, waitresses, it's servers.
So got you. Understood.
They look to me for the guidance.
Oh, wow.
I'm that
Setting
good.
the standard.
No, all kidding aside, back in the 80s, I was the first person that walked by a table that wasn't even mine and grabbed the sugar packet off the, that they had used. Just kept on walking.
Wow.
Yep. First of all, I never agreed to all kidding aside.
All kidding aside.
I never agreed to that. We're going to be kidding.
Well,
but you guys, look, man, great cause, you and Jay. You and Jay are part of that today.
It's going to be, I wouldn't have done it if I wouldn't have realized it wasn't at Beau Rivage. It's at La Berge, right here at Baton Rouge.
Correction, yesterday we were talking about Beau Rivage. Yes.
Biloxi, here I come.
Yes.
Show up over there.
Overnight.
Great cause. See you at La Berge tonight. Starts at 7. We'll be there at 6.
Come on, support them.
If you're looking for the perfect companion for family fun and adventure, or wanting to find adventure beyond the ordinary, experience all that the Toyota Tundra has to offer. Save on your new Tundra right now at Team Toyota, I-12 at O'Neill.